Hi everyone, welcome to episode 10 of Empathic Action. Today we're going to focus on books about empathy. Since we're homebound and maybe looking for something inspiring to read, I thought I would go through some of my favorite empathy books in case one of these titles catches your attention and you want to put in a new order for a book. So here's a quick snapshot of the books that are on my shelf. I'm not going to go through each and every one of them, but I will highlight some of my favorite. So we're going to start with, if you just want to know the history of empathy through the ages, starting with aesthetics and then moving its way through psychology and into more modern neuroscience, you might want to pick up this book. There are several books just describing the neuroscience of empathy. It's really quite fascinating to learn that we have the natural capacity to empathize, and neuroscience can prove how our brain empathizes. I forgot to add this one to the mix. Jamil Zaki out in California is at Stanford, actually says we can become more empathic, and he describes how, and the subtitle is Building Empathy in a Fractured World, and this was written before COVID. Then we've got a researcher at Harvard that has put together a 7-step process on how we can become more empathic. She draws heavily from the space of healthcare, but her 7-step process can be applied in any kind of domain. J.D. Trout wrote Why Empathy Matters, and here in this book, the idea is that we can develop public policy that is more empathic. And again, this was written nearly 10 years ago and is super relevant now because we have to pay attention to how we organize society in a post-COVID world with a little bit more empathy. If you're looking for a revolution, you may want to pick up Roman Chinarik's book. I'm apologizing for the pronunciation there, but this is a manifesto for change. If you're looking for something a little bit more on the spiritual side of things, how to live a more compassionate or empathic life, I suggest you pick this one up. A book that really helped me see the world differently is Frans de Waal's Age of Empathy. He's a primatologist from the Netherlands and has studied bonobo culture and has a lot to say about who we are as human beings and how we can become more empathic if we become, or if we align ourselves a little more with our bonobo selves. This is a collection of essays. I haven't finished it, but each essay that I've read so far, and I'm probably 2/3 the way through, is so beautiful. So if you like fiction and you want to be connected to the topic of empathy, this is just a beautiful, beautiful collection of essays. If you're interested in the world of leadership or business, I suggest that you check out this HBR publication. If you are interested in the world of human-centered design or design thinking, please pick up Michael Ventura's Applied Empathy. He runs an agency out of New York, and it's a fantastic book. Of course, the most important book that I read about the topic of empathy, and it's a big one, is The Empathic Civilization by Jeremy Rifkin. The race to global consciousness in a world in crisis. And he was saying, it is possible for for all of us, all of humanity, to become more empathic. But are we running out of time? And he was talking specifically about climate change, but I'm sure he would have a lot of new things to say in a COVID world. Of course, there are many, many other books. I realized that I must have lent a book out because I would have pulled it off my shelf about Roots of Empathy. It's a beautiful program designed and founded by Mary Gordon in Toronto, who brings babies into classrooms to teach children about emotional literacy and how to share their feelings so that they become more empathic beings as they grow up in the world. And I guess a little footnote is if you're looking to read something in the future, you may want to check out my book. You can go to my website /books and pre-order mine. So I hope this gives you a sense of all the different kinds of books that are out there on the market. I really encourage you to pick up any of them that I just talked about, or that's listed on my, or is sitting on my bookshelf, or anything else. This is the time to sort of submerge ourselves into thinking about how we can become more empathic in the world, and I hope you have some good reading days ahead of you. Have a great day. See you tomorrow.